Awesome. Well, traders, thanks so much for joining us today. And David, thanks for having us. Always a pleasure to be a part of trading events and to talk trading with other traders. So thanks so much for having me. My name is Jim Simmons. I'm with Street Trading Academy. And what we're talking about today is sort of a new way to look at the trend is your friend. You've all heard that a million times. You're probably sick of hearing it. And here comes this guy from Street, and he's going to talk about it again. But I can tell you that by the end of this session, hopefully there'll be at least one person, and I'm going to guess that there will be more. There'll be more than one person that we will absolutely blow your mind. I know that's a bold statement to say, but I can say that because we've done that for other traders with this particular system. We've been active as a technology, and we write indicators and software for trading. And out of everything that we've done, and there's over 50 products that we've released, this is probably the best, if not, when we pair it up with the trading strategy and everything that goes into it, it is a really, really killer system. So I'm going to show you rather than just tell you about it. How's that sound? So here we go. Before we dive in, we need to go over our disclaimer. Street has no financial interest in the outcome of your trades. We are here for products and services for educational purposes, and there is risk involved with trading. Please understand those risks accordingly. We are actually going to be presenting this on behalf of we are a reseller for Arc AI, which is Architects of Algos and Indicators. Now, most of you are seeing the name going, I've never heard of Arc. Yes, they are actually, we've teamed up with our development team that has built a lot of the indicators for Street and some of our algos. And they have branched off and started another company designing really, really great tools and indicators. So we'll be presenting on their behalf just because this tool is amazing and I really wanted you guys to have our best, right? So I wanted to really bring you the best thing that we can bring you, something that's simple and effective. I think I speak for all of us traders when I say that's probably what all of us are looking for, right? Something that's simple, effective, replicable, and very consistent. And that is exactly what we're going to show you today. Okay. So again, my name is Jim Simmons. I am a fellow trader. I've been trading the markets for 14 years now. And I can tell you, I've been there, done that. Odds are you're not going to, be able to tell me a story. Well, maybe. I won't challenge you. Let's put it that way. But I've seen it. I've understand the struggle of trading, the back testing, trying strategies, stop outs, the hopelessness, and eventually you get to a point where you say, really, is anybody actually making money in this industry? And I can tell you that there is no holy grail. There's no one size fits all, and we're certainly not here to give you false hopes. Trading is hard, but if you can follow the approach to trading the markets that we've set, you can be successful in this industry as well. And so we're going to show you that. So on to the AT Trader, which is Automated Trendline Trader. Our agenda, what do we really want to know as traders? How do we determine market direction? Well, which way is the way? How do you clear up your charts? We're going to look at breakout signals, a lot of examples on trading. We're going to dive into the charts, look at real examples from today. Really killer stuff. And then, of course, we'll give you a special pricing at the end here. So how many of you have asked this question at one time or another? Any of these questions? You get into a major level and you say, well, what's going to happen next? When's the market going to stop going up? When is the market going to break out? Is it going to reverse? What's going to happen next? So take a look at this drawing, and I'm just going to have some fun here. Type in the chat box, what do you think will happen next? A, pullback, B, reversal, or C, breakout? What happens next? Market's coming up to a major level of resistance here. It's traded all the way back up to the highs. What happens next? Is it going to pull back, reverse, or break out? What do you think? Let's hear from the audience here. You guys can just type in the chat box and we'll see what everybody thinks. Okay. So we've got reverse, pullback. Anybody else? What do you think? Pullback. Okay, continuation. Anything can happen and everything. Yeah, absolutely. And this is, all but which one? Nailed it on the head. It's D, all of the above, right? We see it every day. And it's just like Anko was talking about, the institutional traders, trading the market makers and all these things. And what they do, and it's a dirty game they play, right? First, they pull it back a little bit. Then they fake the breakout, gobble up all the stops, slam it in reverse. We've all seen it. We see it every day in the market. The question is, how do you figure out how to trade against that? Because somebody else is eating your lunch. So there's ways to interpret direction. You say, well, the trend is your friend, so trade with the trend. So then we have oscillators, MACD, CCI, stochastics, RSI, MFIs. We have a regression channel. You could look at that to determine direction. We've got, moving average crosses, EMAs, and then there's price action and trend lines. And so you could rely on an indicator, but everybody says, well, price action is king. Price action is the easiest way to determine market direction because oscillators are lagging and so on and so on. We've heard that too. They say, well, just look at the chart. So then you look at the daily chart and you're going, okay, well, daily's kind of down. And all right, well, let's look at a 30-minute chart with the profiles. And okay, that one's kind of going sideways. And then on the 5 minutes going up. Okay, so now what? The daily's down, the 30 minutes sideways, and the 5 minutes up. Well, I'm trading on a 5-minute chart. So, I guess I should just trade continuations on the longs. But then you look at the 30-minute chart and you realize you're at the high of day. And you go, well, is it really going to keep going up? Or are the sellers going to step back in and take over? And so you look at the charts and it just becomes even more confusing. So you say, okay, well, here we go. We'll just look at my entry chart and I'll just draw some trend lines. And eventually your chart starts looking like this. And I don't know about you, but I've probably done this at one point or another. It starts to look like a drawing or a coloring by, a 4-year-old. No offense to the 4-year-old, who's a fantastic artist. But this is ultimately what our charts start looking like. And we look at this and go, okay, well, now what? We're kind of breaking the lows in this area. And, maybe it's going to go back down, but maybe it's going to continue to chop around for a while. And who knows really what's going to happen. We've got a low here, and we've got some resistance there. We've got some support here. So what's happening here? We can look at this and say, all right, well, we did this kind of thing, right? And so it's really hard to determine just by looking at a chart what's really going on, and without overcomplicating it. And the reality is, no matter how hard we try, we're going to miss something. We cannot see everything. So then we can look at, okay, well, let's see a clearer approach. Here's a clearer chart with some valid trend lines that you could follow. And more importantly, it's the important trend lines that you want to follow, the ones that are actually going to do something for you, right? So let's look at some real trading signals. Now, these are signals that were provided by our trading tool, which is the AT Trader. And so we have breakout signal here, breakout signal here. It's pretty clean and easy to see. We've got some good follow through on these signals. Very, very good. And this is what we're going to be focusing on in this event. Then we've got continuations. Trend is your friend. Okay, well, let's trade with the trend. We've got a trend line here and we've got a continuation signal. And then we break through the highs. And lo and behold, we use that as support later on. Now we've got another continuation right here. And this is actually what sets up this particular trend line. So it really ultimately starts here. And so our first signal with that trend line is right here. We get a nice, again, break of the highs. And notice what they do. It's easier to see when you start to see it with real trend lines. It's easier to determine which way the market's going and where you can expect the market to give you some support. You can easily go from one direction to the next. Say you're trading in an uptrend and you're trading continuations, and next thing you know, the market's breaking your trend line. You're saying, okay, I'm not going to trade longs anymore because we just broke the trend line. And here's a hint, you can use this on a higher time frame chart. If you're trading on a 3-minute chart, you could use this on a 15-minute chart. So that way, when your structure has changed, when your bias has changed, when you're looking to trade in a new direction. We're going to be looking at trading the breakout as a signal because they're phenomenal. Same thing here, trading the resistance trading shorts off the continuations, and then we get the breakout here, and that can change your direction at that point. Okay? Easy to see. You don't have to draw the trend lines. It does it all for you. So there's two main benefits of using AT Trader. You can automatically identify and display trend lines instantly. You can consistently produce signals based on a specific set of customizable rules. The best part is you don't have to make the rules. We've already written them for you. We will literally give you a cheat sheet with an entire strategy, and I'll actually pull it up while I'm talking here, because we think, having an indicator, having a tool is great, right? We all have shiny objects, and that's all well and good. I'm here to tell you it's not just another shiny object, because we're going to actually give you the strategy. We will tell you the exact rules for entry, what you need on your chart, how to determine the trend, when to take a trade, and even how to manage your trade. And we'll even tell you the bar sizes. We're using Renko bars on this strategy. So we'll give you this. This comes with the indicator, because we don't want to just give you an indicator. We want to give you something that's going to help you trade profitably and consistently. Again, something that is consistent, easy to trade, easy to follow, and something that's simple and efficient, right? That's what we're all after. So we'll give that to you. Comes with. You don't have to trade it on a Renko bar. You can trade it on a 3-minute bar. You can trade it on a 30-minute bar. Somebody asked me the other day, could you trade it on ETFs? I know not everybody here is trading futures. Perfectly fine. You could use this on anything, because price action is price action. It works on ETFs, because I looked the other day. It works on Forex, trade it on futures, trade it on whatever you want. Works exceptionally well. Easy to use menu. We do have a menu that's built into this tool as well, and you can go in, instead of having to go into the actual indicators menu, you can go in here and change up some of your settings and parameters, which makes it a lot easier as well. Okay, so we looked at a lot of good things. This is built for NinjaTrader 8, by the way. Okay, so some of you are using NinjaTrader, you're good to go. Those of you who aren't, well, NinjaTrader is not terribly difficult to learn. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's simple enough. So let's look at some trading examples. Any questions so far? You guys have been awfully quiet. I know I'm kind of just gabbing on over here, just talking away. Anybody got any questions so far? You guys with me? Everybody with me so far? No questions. All right, I'm moving on. If you have questions, please stop me, please. We are recording this event as well, too. So if you need the recording, happy to get it to you. Let's look at some trading examples. You say, oh, yeah, sure, it's great. Yeah, I've seen it before. I've always seen, the other companies. They tell me it's the greatest thing in the world, and then it's just a giant piece of junk that I spent money on. And I've spent money on, shiny objects before. It hasn't worked out. I get it. I understand. We've all spent money on useless junk at some point or another. So here's what some of our traders have done with this. Now, these are not our trades. These are trades that have been submitted to us by our traders. There's a quick trade there on a breakout, and there's another trade, and they're getting out there. This one says target. Oh, this was probably, okay, so here's what's going on. Target 1, target 2, trailing stop. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Let's do a testimonial first, actually. This was supposed to be first, but it got moved somehow. It's fine. So Tom wrote in and said, I've had unbelievable results. I've been posting screenshots of my trades in Skype. He trades with a group of other traders. He says, I honestly feel this is the best trading tool I've seen in my 25 years of trading. And this is, by the way, a trader who, was having some difficulties with some of the other systems. And that's one of the things that we love about this particular system. It's easy to learn and it's easy to trade. Simple. That's what everybody wants. You don't want something that has a 3-week learning curve to figure out what the heck you're doing before you can trade with it. You want to start trading with it tomorrow. And albeit I will, obviously I'm going to recommend trading it on Sim until you get the hang of it. But you could trade this tomorrow. Like it's not difficult. It's really not difficult. I don't care how long you've been trading. It's simple. Here's another trade, entry on the long. There's the target, winning trade. There's another one, trading on the short. There's the target. You can see it right here. Breakout on the short. There's the target. This is on ES. Let's go to another one. What do we got here? We've got an entry here on the breakout. There's the target, trailing stop. Okay, so they caught one target, but market didn't give them anything else. That's okay. Still money on the table. Okay, there's another trade. This trader's trading with some contracts, and we're trading these on the micros, by the way. We are trading these on the micros just because we can really dial in our risk better on the micros. So we do trade on micros, and most of our students and traders are trading it on micros as well. There's another one, breakout, target. We see this every day. I mean, it really is pretty fantastic. Here's one of our traders that's been using it for a while. Doesn't get a call it a day. Have to get some real work done. Glad to see everybody killing it. Doesn't want to get too greedy, right? I made $9,000 in a day trading with this system. Now, the money doesn't matter. Everybody's got a different account balance and trading different size. So that is completely irrelevant. The point is, all of his trades were profitable that day. Been 94% profitable on that day. That's what we want to see, right? So enough of me talking. Let's go look at some charts. You guys want to check out some trades from today. We're not looking like a year ago. We're going to look at today. Sound good? Questions? Anybody? Nothing? Nobody? Have I completely astounded everyone? That's not possible. I'm not that smart. All right, let's go check out some trades. Here's what's going on. Okay, so we have a Renko chart here, and we have a Renko chart here. Let's go to ES. So they're both the same. Okay, so two Renko charts. One is quicker, one is slower. That's it. So this one's based on a kind of a 1 minute time frame, and this one's kind of based on a 5 minute time frame. We'll give you the workspace. It's not an issue. We can give you the workspace. We've already got all the bar settings and all that set up, so you don't have to worry about that. I've also got a little tool on my chart that colors the background based on whether the market is above or below the EMA. Now, this is a 100 period EMA, 100 period exponential moving average. Okay, so there you go. And so if we are above the EMA, then our chart's going to be green. And then once we start closing below the EMA, you can see it turns red. Okay. So this is what's going on in the chart. And on the shorter time frame chart, you can see we have green here, and this is actually set based on the higher time frame chart. Okay, so this background is the same as this. And so that's what's going on. It just makes it easier to see whether the market's up or down, right? Is it fully automated for Ninja, or do you need to manually enter trades? Last example did over 100 trades in a day. That is way too many, Ron, and in all fairness, they're trading large contract sizes. So they're not actually taking 100 trades a day. They may be getting like partial fills, or the fill might break out separate. You know how Ninja is, where it'll show, if you trade 5 contracts, it may show 5 trades. So that trader probably did more like 5 trades. And it is manual trading. Yeah, it's not automated. The signals are automated, but the trading is manual. Yeah. And yes, you are not limited to trading on Ninja, but you do have to chart on Ninja. Yeah, absolutely. This is built on Ninja Trader. So that's really what's going on. So what we're looking for is the market trading above the EMA on the higher time frame chart. That's rule number 1. If the market's trading above the EMA, then is the market giving us a signal above the EMA on the shorter time frame chart, which it is. Again, it's a 100 EMA because we're not nearly that creative, and we just decided to make them the same. So this market is above the 100 EMA, and we're getting a long signal on a breakout. And what do you think we're going to do? We're going to take a long trade. Okay, stop is going to go below the low, and this is just set to 1-to-1, 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, simple. Those are the rules. Above the EMA, getting a signal on a breakout has to be in the direction, that we can see that on the background. We've got green to go, right? Simple. That's it. There's one other rule that we like to add: not an overbought territory on the MFI. We have the MFI set to 75. You could set it to a different number if you so choose. That's just what we have it set at. If you're using a range bar or a minute bar, you're going to want to set the MFI faster, smaller number, but on the Renkos, it works well at that. So that's it. Above, breakout, take the trade. Stop goes below the low, trade it 1-to-1. Pretty simple, right? It looks like, I think this is the only one on ES. MFI stands for Money Flow Index. Think of it like, it's like an RSI. It's just like an RSI, but it's weighted based on volume. So this is going to tell us where the flow of the volume is coming in. Is it coming in on the buy side or sell side? Yeah. Here's another fun tip. Trading divergence on MFI can be very nice as well. We're not going to talk about that here because that's kind of step 2 sort of thing, but MFI is great for divergence. And if anybody's trading divergence, MFI can give you some really good signals. Okay. So there's ES. I don't think there was anything on ES today, anything else. So let's go to NQ. These are out of order. Let me just move this over. All right, so let's go to NQ. Let's take a look. So on the higher time frame, anybody who traded futures today, the equities were just soaring to new highs and very, very trendy today off the open. Personally, I don't like to trade anything until after 10 o'clock, unless I'm trading pre-market, and then I'm usually trading some other type of strategy. Most of my strategies I trade after 10 o'clock. Okay. So we could see there's, obviously we got above the EMA here right off the open. To me, as soon as we break these highs and stay above it, we're looking for longs, and we're above the EMA and everything's good there. So let's go check out on the shorter time frame then what kind of trades we're looking at. Just looking for longs. Let me go ahead and expand this out so we can see it a little easier. Now this signal here came in. I never trade at the open. Never, never, never. The way I like to look at trading off the open is it's like throwing a knife up in the air and standing underneath it and just hoping it's not going to land with the blade down. That's kind of how I look at trading the open. Now, some people trade the open and love it. I hate it. So I don't trade it. All right, so going back to the signal here. So this happens at about 9:43. And, just like the market does off the open, it kind of breaks the highs, then it breaks the low, and then it kind of chops around for a while, and everybody fights over which direction the market's going to go. And eventually it picks a side, and then they take off, right? This happens all the time. There is a signal here, and it's a valid signal. If you like to trade close off the open, you could take this signal. It actually works out just fine. It's a big trade. You can see now why we trade the micros, because you got $190 of risk on every contract, even on the micros. So on a full-size contract, we're talking $1,900 on one trade. And make no mistake, the stop does need to go below the swing low. Don't try to change that rule, please. We've tested it. That's the way to trade it. And that's why we use the micros. We can set our risk better. Okay, here's another breakout signal. Came a little bit later. Now, looking at where these came from, this is very valid. It's off of these 2 structure high pivots. And oh, by the way, we got a third one. And that's why this one's so powerful, works out really well. Just gives you a little added confidence. This one works. It's maybe not quite as strong as this signal, but it does work. And in this case, the swing low is actually right here below the EMA. It's kind of hard to see. So we just swing it below there, and then there's our trade. On both of these trades, we want to make sure that we are not overbought when the signal comes in. And in both cases, we're not. We're right about the 50. Okay. Simple. Let's go check out this trade over here. Now, most of us are not trading at 230, but if you are, you could take this trade. We're not overbought. We're in the green. We're above the EMA, and we're getting a breakout signal. You could swing it below the low. Personally, I would swing it below this low. And the only reason I say that is because we have highs here and we have a low here. So if it's going to come back down and bounce, there's a high likelihood that it's not going to get past here. But if you want to be safe, just put your stop here. It works out either way. It's fine. It's totally fine. Some have more risk tolerance, some have less. You just have to see what works for you. Okay. So that's 3 trades on NQ if you count the afternoon trade. What about YM? There was a signal here But where are we on MFI? Overbought. We don't want to be trading that. You're just asking for trouble. Yes, it works. The signal totally works. It's a winning trade, but you're just, filter your trades to get the best ones. We're not looking for every trade. We're looking for the best ones, right? What about this one? This one's sketchy too. And the reason, first off, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Second off, we're inching toward overbought. We're not there yet. We're getting close. We've got a higher low and a double top. We're trading into a previous structure high. If I was to take this trade, and I would wait for the break of this high because we're so close, wait for it to break the high and then trade it on the comeback right here. And that would be the trade. If it had broke through, I would trade it on a comeback. And, you just got to be mindful still a little bit there, stay out of some trades. There's some trades you might want to avoid. But, you could take that trade if you're an aggressive trader. The win rate on this is ridiculous. It's so good that you don't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of it. It's just so easy to trade this, and you don't have to worry about making too many mistakes, which is good too. Let's take a look at this trade on, this would be on the Russell. Okay, we've got nice signal coming in here. We're in the green. We're above the EMA. We're not overbought. Check, check. Off we go. There's the signal. Now, based on the initial look, we would be right about here. Now, we didn't get it on that first breakthrough. We came up into these highs right here, and then we pulled back. Now, if it was me, I'm going to pull my target just below that and take the money and run. But even if you hadn't done that, you would have gotten targets on that trade. So personally, I like it, down in here below these lows, take the money and go about your day, right? Here's an interesting signal. This one is coming in now. Again, it's 4 o'clock. Nobody's really trading right now. Lower low, totally oversold, and we're getting a signal here. That one could be interesting, but it's too late. It's too late on that. This Renko is going to be 9. Now, our Renkos, we have our own custom Renko bars that we've developed, and so we'll give you that too. But this is going to be 9, 18, and 7. So the way that it breaks out is the bar size is 9, reversal is 18. So that's our bar, that's our reversal, 2 to 1. And then the offset is actually 7. Normally you would see an offset of like 5, but we like to do the offsets higher. For whatever reason, it just gives us cleaner trades. On ES, it's going to be different. I think it's 5, 10, 7. No, 5, 10, 4. I don't know. We could look. Yeah, ES is 5, 10, 4. They're all a little different. MYM, I think, is the same as RTY. Yeah, M2K. Those are both the same. So I think that's it for the Russell. The Russell was just on a tear today. Anybody trade longs on the Russell today? If you did, you probably did pretty well. Can you show on a live chart? Yeah, this is a live chart. This is live right now. Yeah. And do you help loading software? Yes, we do. We do. Our support team will actually go onto your computer, install everything, and load the workspaces and make sure everything works. Yes, we're happy to do that. Absolutely. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to just pick up the torch and run. Let's look at gold. Anybody trading gold? Any gold traders in here? Got a couple trades on a short on gold. When we're looking at the chart, it's pretty easy to see which direction gold is going. We don't want to fight that. There's no reason for us to try and get cute. Just trade the shorts. We're just looking for the shorts. We don't need any longs. So let's find some shorts in here. Personally, I start looking around 10 and we get our first signal here. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can take a closer look at these. Okay, so we are in the red, which means that we are below the 100 EMA. And then here we're getting a signal below the 100 EMA as well. Now, right at the signal, if we draw a line in the sand, where are we? We're not quite oversold, but we're not we've got this kind of thing going on, and that makes me a little nervous. We're trading into some minor divergence. It's not a lot. It's totally not a lot, but we were oversold, almost oversold here. We started pulling back up in momentum, and so a little bit of divergence. You could take the trade if you're aggressive. Personally, just based on the look of it, I would wait for it to break down in here. And that's just me. You could take this trade. The trade is right about here. Stop's going to go at least above this high, and there's a 1-to-1. It's still a profitable trade. Okay. This one to me is a little better because it's kind of the momentum isn't still going back up. So I like that one better. Okay, white line is an EMA. Yes, it's a 100 period EMA, exponential moving average. Yep. Hey, Steve, good to see you in here. What setting is providing the red and green backgrounds? So that is actually a new indicator that we developed. And it's, yeah, we'll have it available at some point. So this is really all this is doing, Steve, is it's just, it's coloring the background based on the higher time frame, whether we're above or below that, the EMA on the higher time frame. Okay. Yep, background colors. So downtrend is red, uptrend is green. And again, it's based on this chart here. And so you could see as soon as we start trading below, it changes colors, then it goes to green because we went back above and so on. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty neat little tool. And you could, I mean, I even coded one real quick on something else that was similar, but it's on the same chart. Anyway, simple little indicator, but it's effective, makes it easier, right? And so here's both of those trades, winning trades. We're not looking to take the longs, we just don't want to fight that. We'll just stick with the direction of the day. And then here's another trade. Again, we're in the red, we're below the EMA, we're not oversold, take the short. Stop goes above the high, 1-to-1 risk reward, simple. I'm going to write these out just to make it even easier, right? So higher time frame chart, higher time frame, above the EMA, longs, below EMA, shorts. Simple. Shorter time frame, above EMA, break, long, below EMA, break, short. And we could even just do it this way: long, not overbought on MFI 75, short, not oversold. And we're using 80-20 on the MFI for the overbought and oversold. And then you're just trade signals with direction on the breakout. Stop above swing or below recent swing, and target 1-to-1 based on that trade, 1-to-1. Simple. Any questions? I mean, it really doesn't get any easier than that, right? I mean, if you've been trading 5 days, you could probably figure this out. Hardest part is going to be setting up your charts, and that's a beautiful thing because it's not that hard to set them up. So if that's the hardest thing, we're doing all right. All right, so let's take a look at crude. Crude's a little nuts lately, right? We all know crude's kind of a bat out of hell right now. So here's a short. We're obviously trading shorts and looking to put the stop above the highs. Now, if you are aggressive, you could put your stop above this high, and the trade works. Totally fine. Personally, for me, I'm going to put my stop above these highs because that was the range, just like the market always does. Fake the breakout and then take out the other side. We see it all the time. It's just a simpler trade. It's a little less risk involved. And then here's another one. This is kind of a squeeze look at the shorts. And as we're coming into this, it makes me a little nervous. We got a double bottom here. We're getting some divergence in momentum, but the trade still works. And then there's the signal, and stop just goes above this swing high, and there it is. You could put it above this high and you still hit targets. I mean, It's just goofy how good this is. Like it's not complicated, and it's not like we've reinvented, we haven't invented anything super spectacular. It's just trendline breaks. It just works. So here's another one. In this case, we were actually above the EMA for a short while, but we stayed below these structure highs in here, stayed below the pullback there. And we broke above this low, but we stayed below that. So, it's fine. And as we're coming into the signal, we're starting to get back below the EMA. And so, you could take that trade. I wouldn't, you got to be careful how much you try to get away with the market, right? This signal doesn't work for us because we're oversold on the MFI. Okay, so we don't want to mess with that one. The other thing that I love about this trade is this right here. I don't know how many of you are trading divergence, but you don't get more divergence than that. Like that's tons of divergence. Okay, so really good stuff. So how many trades is that today? Let's take a look. We've looked at a few different markets. We've got 1, 2, 3 on crude. We've got on gold. We've got 1, 2, 3 on gold. Really, it's 2. We'll call it 2 because you can't take both trades at the same time. So let's call it 2 there. So we're up to 5. We've got one here on M2K. That's 6. MYM, I don't think we had any. No, not today. So that's 6 still. NQ, we've got 1, 2. We'll call it 2 because, again, you can't take 2 trades at the same time. So that's going to put us up to, what is that, 8? I'm trying to count and do all this at the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong. 8. And then we've got one here on ES. That's 9. Okay. 9 trades. How many of you need 9 trades a day? Don't nobody say yes. If you need 9 trades a day, then God help you. That's a lot of trading. You don't need 9 trades a day to be successful. And if your first 5 trades are profitable, I mean, really, what else do you need to do? Yeah, 2 trades are good enough. Yeah, 2 to 4. I think most traders are kind of in that realm, 2 to 3 to 4 trades. Me personally, if I'm up 3 trades, I'm like kicking my heels together and I'm going to go down and buy a lotto ticket because it's a good day. Like I don't really buy lotto tickets. I'm just giving just saying. But yeah, this easy could give you 500 a day on 2 trades. I mean, it just depends on your risk models. But yes, it's absolutely possible. Can you update the breakout strategies on the PDF, different settings? Yeah, Steve, I'll just give you these. Yeah, I'll just give you these. I don't know how much updating we're going to do on it. I may update this just because this is a little bit more complicated, actually. And I feel like this is simpler, simpler look. So, yeah, good stuff. What bar sizes for the lower time frame? So here's what we've got going on here on higher, lower. To make it easy, you could just use a 5-minute chart on this, and it would be 5-minute, and it looks very similar, So just 5-minute is fine for the higher time frame, and then the lower time frame is going to be the settings that are on the cheat sheet, and this is something that you can download in the members area once you purchase the tool. 13, 26, 10. I think that may be updated. 9. We brought that down to 9. So depending on volatility, you really just keep a lookout on what the market's doing. I think when we released this was, in March, when the market was really, really moving a lot. And so we bumped the bar sizes a little bit. Yeah, I think even gold and crude are, no, they're still 714.6. These are the same. So the only update to this would be these are 9, 18, and 7, was it? I believe 9, 18, 7. Wait, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, 19.7. Yeah. So here's a fresh signal. Yeah, we saw that one already on M2K. So it is interesting, uh, doing this event, it's kind of like, looking at it from the other end of it, right? Yes, wait for the arrow to trade. Yes, absolutely. Because the arrow is going to confirm that the signal is valid, because what we have here, I'll kind of show you this. We've got our trend line here, which you can see, but we've got kind of this opaque zone surrounding it. And what this is, it's a buffer zone, and it's based on ATR. So that buffer zone is saying, as soon as you have an open high-low close above the buffer zone, then you'll get a signal right there. So that's what it's waiting for. Yeah, so definitely wait for the signal. You could see, I mean, obviously it's profitable. And that's the thing, like looking at it the other end of it, because I'm a trader too, and I've seen webinars and I've seen all this stuff, right? And you're kind of like, some of these, you kind of roll your eyes a little bit and you're like, I mean, that's great. Like, nobody trades 100% win rate, which is absolutely 100% true. Nobody trades at 100% win rate, even on this tool. But it's so good that it's kind of hard to find stop outs. It really is. Success rate on this, I mean, at a 1-to-1, I would be surprised if traders are seeing less than 70 to 75% win rate at 1-to-1. Some traders are trading this at 0.5-to-1, meaning that their target is 0.5 of their stop, so half the stop. So I guess you could say it's like a 1-to-2, and those traders are seeing like 80% win rates on those. It's ridiculous, and that's the thing, is like, it's not hype. Like, I really want to be clear that this is real. And it's, like I said, it's kind of like you're somewhere in between. My mind is blown, and is this guy just full of crap, right? Like that's kind of what the thought is like, is this guy just full of it, or is this the real deal? Like, it really is the real deal. So entry prices at the open of next bar. Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you get the signal, I know it's kind of hard to see, so we can zoom in and show you here. Obviously, we're not taking shorts, but if we were, your trade would be just right here. I mean, honestly, what I do when I'm trading this is, as soon as I see the signal, my trade's already set up and ready to go. I've got my stop kind of sized out already and everything. And I just hit enter market order. And if I slip a few ticks, so what? Okay, I miss a few ticks. And then I just plan the trade based on the real trade. I just kind of put this here and say, okay, yeah, that's good. And I'll do it that way. So that's how it works. What else? What other questions do you guys have? We'll go over pricing, and then we've got time to stick around and answer some questions. If you guys have any questions, I think somebody was asking to maybe see the bonds. We could take a look at that. MFI, I don't know how it works. Honestly, I'm not smart enough to know how it works. I just know that the money is flowing in the direction that it's moving. So yeah. Steve. Okay, so Steve was saying he was 5 for 5 trading with it today. Good work, Steve. Steve's one of our traders, and it's been trading with us for a while. Yeah, if MFI is low, if it's oversold, then you would look for it to pull out, and that would be indicating that the money's starting to go the other direction. Personally, the way that I like to trade with MFI is with divergence, and you can see that right here. We've got lower low here, and then we get another lower low, but the momentum on the MFI is moving up. So this would be the divergence look, and then we break. I could tell you right now that this setup right here with divergence and MFI, probably one of the best things I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of strategies. It's so darn good. It really, really is. And so if you get that as a confirmation, just jump in and expect it to work. It's like you could take one of those a day and you're set, because they're so high probability. So good. What else? What questions? Anything? We'll go over pricing for you guys. I think I kind of already gave you a little sneak peek. So the pricing's $7.49. I don't know about you, but I've spent more and gotten less. I mean, in all, like the tool itself it's not like the most complex thing in the world, which is why it's 750 and not, 1,500 bucks or something. It's simple, but it just works. So anyway, offer's good through Friday. I'm going to post the link here in the chat box. And then, like I say, I could stick around and answer questions and such. Let's throw this in the chat box here. There's the link. If you want to purchase and jump in, there's the link. I realize a lot of you probably aren't like, impulse buyers, and you've got a lot of speakers to listen to in this event and all that. Totally respect it. It's money well spent. It's probably some of the best money you'll spend in trading gear. It's really solid. So I know not everybody's going to just jump right out and buy it. That's totally cool if you want to scope it out for a while, or if you're thinking about it, or you want to check out our Discord threads, that sort of thing. We absolutely invite you to join our Discord. I'll pull it up real quick too, just because we have time. And I'll show you the Discord thread is extremely active, very, very active. We're not into like money back guarantees and all that gimmick stuff. That's not us. What I will tell you is that you'll be happy with it and it'll work. I mean, if you've got Ninja, you're good to go. It does not work with Thinkorswim. Sorry, Michael. It's on NinjaTrader only. Is this a separate from MMT? Yeah, tape indicator. Yep, this is a separate indicator. MMTT is our order flow tool, which is a great tool as well. Do you get to try it before you buy it? No try before you buy. You either buy it or you don't. We don't do trials or anything like that. Best thing that I would say, because I totally get it, you want to make sure it's a good fit for you. You want to make sure this is something you want. Come into our Discord threads. So if you go to Discord and just look up NS Trading Academy. In fact, here, I'm just going to invite you all right now. Let's go here. Where am I at? I'm going to invite you all. Invite people. Are you people? Because if you're people, I can invite you. Okay. Here you go, people. Join NeuroStreet on Discord. And then the thread that you're looking for is under ARC AI, and it's AT Trader. And you can just keep an eye on the threads. Just watch how other traders are doing with it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to kind of let the cat out of the bag here. We're also starting a trade room that is going to be trading with this system. Here's a trader made 4,500 bucks with this today. Here's a trade short on a win. This was on YM. They were trading a different strategy than the one I showed you, which is fine. We could show you the other ones, but just start with that one first, and we'll teach you the rest. Here's that GC trade that we were showing you. There's a short. There's the target. So yeah, check out the Discord threads. This is really, because you can't really do a try before you buy, that kind of stuff. Come in here. There's Steve, actually. Yeah, come in and join us, and you'll see all the trades. I mean, it's one thing for us to trade it successfully, which is, it's good, but it's another thing to see our traders killing the markets with this thing, just destroying the markets. So that's the proof in the pudding. It's like, it doesn't matter if we can do it. What matters is, can anybody else do it? And I can tell you assuredly, yes, our other traders are getting very, very good results. Can we conduct a chart room for a day? Like a trading room, like a trade room? We are starting a trade room with it, and that'll be up and running next month. Now, there is a subscription for the trade room, but I'm sure we'll probably release some recordings and such on YouTube or something. We'll add some of the recordings in there, and then if you want to see the results, we'll show you the wins and losses, all that. Does a scanner come with it? No, we haven't built any scanners for it yet. It's on the radar. It's on the radar. Yeah, in a trade room. Yeah, just send me an email. Let me send you my email info here. Do lowercase, sorry. Jim. It's just Jim at nstradingacademy.com. There we go. There's my email. And just send me an email. We could go through it and I'll send you trades. If you want to just see the trades for the day, I'll send them to you. It's totally fine. Steve is saying, no question, the best and most successful indicator I've ever used, period. How long you been trading, Steve? Steve's one of our traders. I didn't pay him to say this, but I'll have your $5 later. No, I'm just kidding. He's been trading for 5 years. So, he's not like a war vet. He hasn't been around for 30 years, but he's been trading a while. And he's saying it's the best thing he's ever used. It's pretty hard to beat. No, he hasn't been trading this for 5 years. No. He's been trading for 5 years. We just released this in February, March, something like that. It's new, but it's so good. So good. Used to lose money. Now he's making good money. What else can you ask for? Really? Steve's really helping me out here. I'm going to have to buy him lunch or something. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's, this is not just him. That's the thing. Like I showed you that message from Tom. That's been trading 25 years. Steve is using this, yes, actively every day and having good results with it. So good deal. Let's take a look at bonds real quick and we'll just check it out. Where are we at? Charts. Here we go. What's the symbol on the bonds? Is it ZB or UB? Which one are you looking at? I don't, to be honest, I don't trade them. So which one do you want to look at? ZN or ZB? Let's look at ZB. I don't know ZN too well. So, all right, so let's go ZB. Just going to pull up a 5-minute. It's obviously bearish for the day. Simple enough. So we're going to look at shorts, and then I'm going to change the fractals because obviously it's going to be much smaller. So let's go to 483, and this is totally a guess. Yeah, it's still pretty big. That's the thing about the tick size on ZB. Not getting a lot of moves, and I can't really make it any smaller. Only thing I can do is change the offset, but I don't like that look. It's good. Yeah, you're not going to get much action on that one. Let's try 510 4. Yeah, you're just not getting any signals. There's not enough, and you're not going to take that long there. Not a chance. Yeah. What's Steve doing here? Because he's a successful trader. Every successful trader can always get better. I'm sure there are some other successful traders here too. Not all the traders that come to these are losing. Some of them just want to get better, because why would you want to stay the same, right? Hey, I still go to webinars sometimes. I've been profitable for 3 years, but I still like to see what else is out there. So anyway, good stuff. Yeah, I really don't have much else for you. I think we're almost out of time. We've got a few minutes left. We'll just kind of hang out and answer any few last questions. Anything at all? Anybody got anything? Do you mean this is the best? Hey, it's pretty darn hard to beat. It really is. I mean, it depends on what you're trading. Like I trade with this, but I trade other strategies as well because I'm used to trading a certain way, and this is kind of more of an add-on to what I'm already doing. So, but I do trade these and it works great. How much would one of those trades make if 1-to-1, and how long did you watch the trade? So it depends on how much risk you put on the trade. Let's take a look at ES, just because I think that's probably like one of the more popular instruments, right? So if we look at this trade here, the risk per micro contract is about $75. So about $75. And you would have been watching this trade from right about here is when you would have started watching it. So if we do the math here, it took 188 bars. This is 1353. Took an hour for that trade to set up, but this is late afternoon. I would say if you're trading an hour a day, If you're trading an hour a day, you could easily get 2 trades a day. Easily. If you're trading like 4 or 5 instruments or something. Yeah. And then the risk is just dependent on, which contract you're trading and so on. It just depends on how much you want to put on each trade. If it really works, we can pay the fees with 1 trading day. Yeah. Depending on how much you trade. Absolutely. Can you show EMD, please? I struggle with that. EMD. I'm not sure. Is that a symbol? I'm not sure which what you're asking. Sorry. I've seen some where if you count to 3, you are into long. I'm new and haven't done futures, but this looks simple and I don't want to lose a lot of money. We have funding partners that we work with as well, Michael. And so we can partner you up with a prop firm that will, if you pass the evaluation, you can get funded, and they'll actually give you trading capital. Yeah, it's a futures industry. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm out of time. So if you have other questions, just send me an email. It's just jim@nstradingacademy.com, and we'll be happy to answer questions. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Thanks, David.